Catholic Ireland is bracing itself for another shock. Scandals involving paedophile priests have horrified the people here. Now a state inquiry will report into the church's handling of abuse complaints in Dublin up until 2004. The Archbishop Diarmuid Martin said it's likely that thousands of children or young people across Ireland were abused by priests in the period under investigation, and the horror of that abuse was not recognised for what it is. Meanwhile, the commission investigating industrial schools, reformatories and orphanages, which have since closed down, will detail allegations of abuse dating back as far as the 1940s.
There was obviously sexual abuse, widespread sexual abuse, particularly in the boys' institutions. There was extremely vicious and sadistic physical abuse, children being systematically beaten, black and blue, until they bled. We certainly had people talk to us about hearing screams, the screams of children in the night, and really not knowing what to do, not knowing to whom they could complain, because the power in the town or the village was the religious order running the institution.
For decades, Ireland was one of the most Catholic countries in the world. Sunday Mass used to be packed with people of all ages. But when the scandals began to emerge, the authority of the church and the clergy started to crumble. But the church was slow to face up to its mistakes.
The way the church handled them was not exemplary, to put it mildly. But the church has learned, rather was pushed to learning, that it has to do something. They've come up with a series of guidelines with regard to the protection of children, and they will go a long way to ensuring that what was done in the past will never be repeated.
But for one victim, these reports have taken too long.
I am very angry because it is 14 years since I first went public about this practice the Catholic Church had of moving priests with a record of child abuse onto another parish, which would give them further access to children. And only now is the state ready to publish a report into that practice.
People here will want guarantees that the Commission's recommendations are implemented, and assurances that this dark period in Ireland's recent past is over for good. Yvonne Murray, BBC News, Dublin.